Yuri Gagarin, a name that resounds through history as the first human to ever venture into space. A Soviet hero, a global icon. On April 12, 1961, he climbed into the Vostok 1 capsule, rocketed into the vast unknown, and became the first man to ever gaze down on Earth from space. The world celebrated. The Soviet Union basked in the glory of an extraordinary triumph. But what happened during Gagarin's flight? What did he witness in the cold, black expanse of space that left him so shaken? For decades, rumors have circled, whispering that Gagarin saw something that day, something so terrifying, so otherworldly, that it silenced him for the rest of his life. After years of secrecy, the truth is now beginning to surface. And it's far more astonishing than anyone could have imagined. Because, in his final moments, on his deathbed, Yuri Gagarin revealed a shocking confession. A confession that threatens to shatter everything we thought we knew about the first man in space. A confession that changes the very fabric of space exploration, and the hidden forces that may have been watching us long before we even knew how to reach the stars. When Vostok 1 lifted off from the Baikonur Cosmodrome, Gagarin's mission seemed straightforward: orbit Earth, test the effects of space travel, and return safely. Yet, just 40 minutes into the flight, as Gagarin gazed down at the small blue planet below, something unimaginable happened. His radio transmission to mission control suddenly went silent. For a full 13 minutes, no one on Earth could hear him. Then, when communication was restored, Gagarin's voice was no longer calm and composed. Instead, it was shaky, breathless. His words came in quick, cryptic bursts, almost as if he was avoiding something. Those who listened in later reported a chilling discovery: Gagarin, known for his calm and cheerful demeanor, now sounded terrified. But when Gagarin safely returned to Earth, he never spoke of what he'd experienced, at least not to the public. He didn't mention it to his family, nor to his closest friends. Whatever he saw up there, he kept buried in silence. But there's more. Immediately after his return, Gagarin was taken to a classified debriefing, a meeting that was supposed to be routine, a simple report on his mission. Instead, it became an intense, 6-hour interrogation conducted by Soviet intelligence. What should have been a straightforward mission report was altered before being made public. The official reports claimed the flight was smooth, uneventful, and a perfect demonstration of Soviet space prowess. But a leaked KGB file from the 1990s told a far different story. The original transcript revealed a frantic Gagarin shouting into the radio, describing an anomalous object near his spacecraft. A strange metallic object. Something, or someone, watching him. Then, the KGB documents of the early 1990s revealed something truly astonishing. They confirmed that Soviet officials were aware that Gagarin had encountered something in space. One document, dated April 14, 1961, just 2 days after Gagarin's historic flight, contained a handwritten note from a senior Soviet scientist: "He has seen them. We must make sure he says nothing." Who or what were they? What happened next in Gagarin's career was equally puzzling. He should have become a leading figure in Soviet space exploration. He was supposed to be the star cosmonaut, continuing to make history with more space missions and training future generations of astronauts. Yet, just months after his successful flight, the Soviet government removed him from active space flight duties. The official excuse: Gagarin was too valuable to risk in another mission. But those who knew Gagarin personally didn't buy it. He was reassigned to low-risk administrative roles and placed under strict supervision. The man who had once stared at the stars was never again allowed to reach for them. As the years passed, Gagarin began making cryptic statements in private conversations. Though he never directly spoke about what he had seen in space, he often warned others about the dangerous secrets hidden in space. One chilling remark he made came in 1968, during a private conversation with a journalist: "If people knew what we saw up there, they would never look at the sky the same way again." Then, in an unexpected twist, tragedy struck. On March 27, 1968, Gagarin and his flight instructor, Vladimir Seryagin, took off for a routine training flight in a MiG-15 jet. But minutes after takeoff, the plane inexplicably plunged to the ground, killing both men instantly. The official investigation blamed poor visibility and sudden turbulence. But many experts have long rejected that explanation. Some believe Gagarin's death was not an accident, that he was silenced because he was getting too close to the truth. In his final days, Gagarin whispered a confession that would haunt those who heard it. On his deathbed, he spoke privately with his closest friend, Colonel Valentin Petrov. According to Petrov, Gagarin's eyes filled with tears as he revealed the truth. He whispered, "They were there. Watching me. Following me." When Petrov pressed him for more details, Gagarin simply shook his head and said, "They don't want us out there. They warned me. And they warned us all." But who were they? Just days later, Gagarin was dead. His final words, and the mystery surrounding his death, remain a source of intense speculation. What did Gagarin really encounter in space? While the world may never fully know the answers, there is a growing body of evidence suggesting that Gagarin was not alone in space. Over the years, other cosmonauts have made chilling admissions, suggesting that they too encountered strange phenomena. One of the most notable admissions came from Alexei Leonoff, the first man to conduct a spacewalk. Years later, Leonoff admitted in an interview, "There were times in space when we were not alone. We saw things that were not made by human hands." Could these strange encounters be connected to what Gagarin saw in 1961? Were Soviet cosmonauts seeing things that defied explanation? And if so, did the Soviet Union know more than they ever let on? As the decades passed, more reports surfaced from cosmonauts and astronauts who claimed to have witnessed similar phenomena. One such report came from Vladimir Kovalyonov, who flew aboard the Salyut 6 space station in 1981. He saw a pulsating sphere outside the station, an object that moved in ways that seemed to break the laws of physics. When he tried to photograph it, his instruments malfunctioned. These anomalies weren't limited to Soviet cosmonauts. Leaked KGB documents revealed that the Soviet Union was actively monitoring UFOs in space. In the early 2000s, reports surfaced of a special KGB division dedicated to investigating unexplained aerial phenomena. They intercepted radio signals and took satellite images of UFOs in orbit. Even military pilots reported encounters with unknown crafts. In one document, a Soviet general ordered, "The cosmonauts must not speak of these encounters. The security of the state depends on maintaining the official narrative." And this all raises one chilling question: what did the Soviet government fear would happen if the truth about these UFOs came to light? Fast forward to today, and the mysteries that Gagarin experienced still echo in modern times. In 2023, NASA held a public hearing on unidentified aerial phenomena, unidentified aerial phenomenons, where former Pentagon officials testified that the US government has been secretly investigating UFOs for decades. One of the most explosive statements came from David Grush, a former US intelligence officer, who claimed that the government is in possession of materials of non-human origin. He even stated that astronauts have had direct encounters with unidentified aerial phenomenons in space, but that these events have been deliberately classified for national security reasons. Could the government cover-ups of UFOs, both in the Soviet Union and the United States, be linked to Gagarin's historic encounter? If multiple astronauts and cosmonauts have reported strange sightings, does this suggest that humanity isn't alone in space? And if they've been watching us for so long, what are they waiting for? As we continue to uncover new information, one question remains: was Yuri Gagarin silenced because he was getting too close to the truth? Was he one of the first humans to make contact with an intelligence far beyond our comprehension? And what did he mean by his final confession? They were there, watching me, following me? Could Gagarin have been the first to witness a warning, one that could change the future of humanity's place in the cosmos?